Hey, so I decided that I was going to make a video to talk about my ayahuasca experience because I didn't want to write it all down because I don't think anybody would read that. It's just gonna be so much, and I feel like I do a better job if I just talked about it. I didn't film it, but I feel like it'd be boring to watch because I wouldn't be doing anything. I'd just be sitting there like, whoa, you know. I'm sorry if I'm hard to hear. I turned on some fans so that my voice would be drowned out, so that I wouldn't wake up my mom and papa, because it's 11:40 and they're asleep. So yeah. Also, I don't want to be overheard. Like, this will probably freak them out a lot. Okay, so here goes. Well, to start off, like, my environment was awesome because I have an awesome boyfriend that just, like, is totally chill the whole time. He gave me the tea, well, the stuff you have to drink before the tea, I forgot what it's called, but it makes it so that your stomach will accept the vine, because your body would naturally treat it like a poison and it wouldn't work at all. It needs to stay in your system for a little while. So in order to stay in your system, it needs the vine, the bark juice stuff. So, bark juice, drank that first. And I only drank half a dose because I saw Phil last night. He decided to try a dose and a half instead of just a regular dose, or the recommended half dose for your first time, and he puked his guts out. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't get to see the happy side of his trip either. Like, I only saw him puking and then I had to go home. So that was my experience with his. And I didn't want a similar one. Luckily, I did not. I puked a little bit, but just what I drank. And I came in with an empty stomach anyway because I was expecting to throw up, which is to be expected. Like, you were going to throw it up. So yeah. I drank half a dose and I didn't feel too much, and then Phil went upstairs to get me the other half of the dose, and while he left, it was like, whoa. Things started getting closer and farther, like shrinking, and like perception like this, like everything was like doing that. And I didn't see very many like patterns and colors or anything, but it's okay, whatever. And then he came back with the second half of the dose, and I took that, and I didn't throw up. I felt fine. I mean, my stomach was a little upset, but yeah. Let's see, what I remember seeing. Well, I remember there was this tree made entirely of eyeballs and, like, muscles, and I drew it, but, yeah, this tree, I felt like I shouldn't be looking at it, like it was, like, above me somehow, like a spiritual thing, I don't know. I sound crazy, but, yeah, the tree made entirely of eyeballs and muscles, and it had a male voice, and it came closer to me, or I guess I got closer to it. We got closer, and if so many colors. All of the eyeballs I knew were different people, like different souls, and they were all connected, and though they were individual, they weren't like trying to tell me anything individually. They were all like being really respectful to this like big eyeball that was, I drew a picture of it, hold on. There's a big eyeball at the top of it, kind of like the Eye of Sauron or whatever. It's a little creepy looking, but though it was sort of intimidating, it was actually comforting. This tree eye, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, those were my psychotic scribbles that I made while I was high. Yeah, and this tree of eyeballs told me that I was exactly where I should be, not to worry, that I belonged here, and I think that was it. I think he just basically said, like, you're exactly where you should be. And I was like, wow. Like, after that, everything felt perfect. It felt totally in place. Like, I belonged exactly where I was at that moment in time. Like, I didn't feel like I'd done anything wrong, which is crazy. I always feel guilty for something. Nothing, anything, whatever. I always feel guilty. And I didn't. I felt perfect, like, accepted. This is so crazy. I feel so dumb, but that's, yeah. Okay. What else? I made some other sketches too. I'll post them separately. I know at one point I saw a picture of a guy's arm. It was like this, and you couldn't see his face. And, well, it was actually this arm, but, and he had a tattoo of a mermaid, and the mermaid was waving at me. It was all friendly, and it reminded me of the Peter Pan mermaids. Like, they're kind of snarky, but she's friendly to me. Kind of two-faced, but whatever, and she was, like, beckoning me. And there were waves in the tattoo also, and the waves were moving, and her hair was moving in the wind. And I was like, that's a tattoo. Shouldn't be doing that. And Phil, he felt like he was part of the couch. Like, I was laying on the couch, and I thought he was part of it for a second, not the whole time. And then I leaned on him. I leaned my face into his chest, and I felt his heartbeat, and I heard it, and I felt like we were made of veins, like roots, kind of, but veins, and we were connected. I felt like his heartbeat was mine. This sounds so corny and dumb, but yeah, that's what happened. I could see them, like, blue and red and intertwined, and I just felt like a mass, like a bundle of veins, like one organ of just veins, and then his heart beating into my head, my face. So dumb. Okay, sorry. I guess not dumb. Well, I don't know. And then I was laying down on him, and I saw this girl. She was just looking at me. She was just watching me. She had a hood on, like a dark blue hood, and it was windy, and it looked like she was huddling up, and all I could see was, like, from here. I couldn't really see her whole mouth. I, for some reason, thought she was an Eskimo, and she just stared at me. Like, she just stared at me, and I felt totally okay with that. Just, yeah, we were friends, mutually staring at each other. And I wanted to draw her. When I did, she disappeared. I didn't see her anymore, and I was like, no, but I still remembered her, so I drew her also. It's gonna take too long to find it in my sketchbook, because I just opened it up randomly instead of trying to organize it at all, and drew. And, oh yeah, when I was drawing the tree, I'm gonna scoot this up a little bit. I was drawing the tree, and I felt like I lost control of my hand. Like, I was just like, well, I was enjoying it, but it was like, wow, I can scribble, and then it was like, holy crap, my hand is going insane, doing all these things that I didn't tell it to do. Yeah. I mean, I guess it is what I wanted to do. I just, before I realized that I wanted to do it, yeah. And at one point, I could see what I was going to draw before I drew it, like, what exactly it looked like, where I put that line in it. It looked exactly like I thought it would, which is weird, I guess. I mean, whatever. And, let's see. It was all very pleasant. I was just so happy. I felt so in place, like I belonged. I felt like I was at home. And I don't know, I was like, whoa, I've never had a home before. I've never felt like I belonged anywhere. And I guess this realization that I've always belonged exactly where I am and exactly where I have been in my life. So everything that's happened to me has happened for a reason. And, like, all of the bad things, they're okay. They're not gonna ruin me. And, crazy, right? I saw this guy who I dated for a while. It's kind of an sexually abusive relationship. was a freshman, and it's really, that scarred me for a while. I actually have some repressed memories, like I've faced recently, and I was totally okay. I just looked him in the face, and we were friends, and we were just staring. We had this connection, like we both understood that everything is okay now. It sounds so crazy. Okay, and then let's see. Yeah, I realized, I said this thing to Phil. I was like, everything's not broken. Like, I've always thought that I was broken and that everything is just broken. But it's not. It's more like a mosaic. Like, I was so focused on this little tiny piece, all I saw was broken pieces of glass, and I thought it was dumb, and I thought it was wrong and bad. But if I take a step back, and I can see the whole piece, and I see it's not broken at all. It's very intentional. It's meant to be there. This piece of glass isn't broken. It's that shape for a reason, so that it can make this giant picture. Sorry, I'm being all metaphorical. But yeah, that's what I saw. That's what I thought. And what else have I seen? I saw like a landscape, or it was a seascape, and the sky was, it was like white, but it turned pink and orange, and it was very bright, and the sun was yellow, almost a white though. It was so bright, and the sand was clear. It was like a bunch of diamonds, and everything was sparkly. It was so sparkly, and the water was blue, but it had reflections of all the colors from the sky and the sand in it, and it was so bright and so pretty. Like, it was like a kaleidoscope beach, and there was this hill with a small dark brown house, like maybe 2-bedroom house, and it was kind of cabin-like, but for a beach. And I felt like I lived there. And I wanted to show Phil. I felt like I was like dragging him to the house, like showing, like inviting him to stay there with me. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted me and him to live in that house on that sparkly beach. Yeah. Crazy. And yeah, it's a little weird, but it was pretty. I liked it. What else? There was one point where I felt like I was creating things, like the universe was created, like the Big Bang type of stuff. It's because I was having sex with Phil, and I felt like I was in outer space, like I was part of outer space, and I was in control of things happening. Like there was like comets flying across my vision, and I saw planets forming, meteors crashing into each other. There's explosions and stuff everywhere, but it was beautiful. It wasn't scary, it wasn't loud, it was just like fireworks, but they're planets and meteors and stuff. I sound crazy. I just felt like we were creating the universe. And oh, I'm so dumb. I don't know. I felt like we belonged. Like I fit in him, and I don't know. There was one point where I looked up at the light bulb, and I moved my hand, and it was like there were swirls coming off of my hand, and I felt, again, like I was creating something, and then I felt so thankful for that feeling, like, even just doing art, like when I was drawing, I feel like I'm creating stuff. I'm so thankful for the experience that I can create something, like my ability to create. It's not very good, but create something at all. I just love feeling that, like I can make something out of something else. And I in my trip, I felt like I could make something out of nothing, which was crazy. I wouldn't say this normally, like I'm not like super spiritual, but feel like I was connected to everything, and everything welcomed me. It was all welcoming and accepting, and maybe that's what I needed, because I'm so insecure, just like as a person. I'm ridiculously insecure, and I've never felt more secure in my life. Yeah, drugs. But, yeah, like, I've never felt like I belonged. I've never felt like I wasn't broken. I've never felt like I could do anything, and now I kinda do. Okay, well, this is 15 minutes long. I've just been jabbering away, ignoring my friends trying to IM me. Oh, I have such an awesome boyfriend. He was so nice. He just gave me a pillow and blanket, and he was holding me the whole time and letting me talk to him about all this crazy stuff that was happening, and put up with me. Oh, I cried so much. I cried because I was just so happy. Like, every time I had a revelation, it was just like, whoa. Well, not like, whoa, but it was like, tear. And I was like, stop it, stop crying. And everything's so much more intense. Like, I ate applesauce, and it was so awesome, just feeling it in your mouth, and it was cold. And I looked at Phil's eyes, and they were so bright, and they were so deep, and I feel a blanket, and it was so soft. And I had Arizona green tea, and it was so sweet, and it was so good. Like, everything felt good. Okay, I'm gonna stop this now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm crazy. Oh, wow. Yay, ayahuasca! Woo!